What's up everyone, it's Bobby and we are back at the all-new Tech 360 studios here at Funan to talk about another product that's got a lot of people scratching their heads as why did Apple come out with this now? But I have a pretty good reason why they did it. Anyway, here's our thoughts on the all-new Apple iPod Touch 2019. Now I gotta tell you guys, we're not paid by Apple to do this review. These are our thoughts and our thoughts only. Let's get down to it. Now, the iPod Touch, of course, has been around for years, and then a couple years back, Apple decided to let it go on to, greener pastures because, of course, we have the iPhones now, we have our iPads, so really, why do we need an iPod Touch, right? It sort of served its purpose. Then, out of the blue, this year, Apple decided to release the iPod Touch once again. And the tech community is kind of going, why is Apple doing this? And it's very interesting because a few weeks before they announced it, I was kind of thinking one day, I was out exercising, I thought to myself, you know what I miss? I miss that iPod. I miss that device that's just for media. And then all of a sudden they came out with it. Now, it could just be more likely just timing. But anyway, it got me thinking, so when the iPod Touch came out, I wanted to try it out, see what it's like, see how it fit into my daily life, and if it will fit into your daily life. Let's go over some of the specs real quick on this. Now, of course, the iPod Touch has been updated for 2019. You've got the all-new A10 processor in this. You've got a high-res display in it. Now, of course, not the same as the resolution as on the iPhone XS and XS Max and iPhone XR, but it's pretty decent. So you have three different variations for storage. You have 32 gigabytes, you have 120 gigabytes, and 256 gigabytes. Of course, the more storage you have, the more expensive it gets. And you got an 8 megapixel camera on the back, a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front, and yeah, that's the iPod Touch. It's simple. It's got a little 4-inch display. And it kind of is funny because this is what the iPhone was. And then when you pick it up, you're like, wow, that is small. That is tiny. We were using that back in 2007, 2008. Yeah, phones have come a long way. XS Max, iPod Touch. Yeah, quite funny, right? Anyway, let's talk about the usage of the iPod Touch, because it's not really about the specs of this device, because you're not going to use it like you're going to use it for your phone, okay? I mean, you got the A12 in this, you got the A12 Bionic, all that kind of stuff. You've got a lot of power in the new iPhones. This doesn't have it. But this is really meant as a media device, right? This is meant to listen to music, watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts. That's what it's meant for. But right now you're probably thinking to yourself, but I can do that on my phone. Why do I need this? And that was the question that I put to myself as a challenge over the last few weeks I've had this, is I've taken it with me on cycling rides, I've taken it with me to the gym, and I put my phone away. And I just used the iPod Touch for that hour, hour and a half, 2 to 3 hours I was cycling. And you know what? I get why Apple released the iPod Touch, at least to me. If you're into fitness and you want to listen to music, right? You put my Bluetooth headphones on and I want to listen to it, I can be away from my phone. I don't have to worry about WhatsApp messages coming in or phone calls coming in or all these other notifications coming in because, with our phone, we just can't delete WhatsApp. We just can't turn off our phone. We can put airplane mode on, of course, but you know what I mean? You're very limited. You just can't delete apps. But with the iPod Touch, you can. You can just say, look, I just want Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, that's it. I don't need Instagram on it. I don't need Facebook on it. I don't need any of those things on. But you can't keep doing that to your phone. You can't keep deleting these apps and turning them back on or going back and turning off notifications and turning it back on. It's a pain in the butt. And what Apple's kind of done with this is they've freed you to allow you just to enjoy music once again. I actually get it. And I think at the price point, it's actually not too bad because, as a cyclist out there, you put your phone in your back pocket and you're cycling. God forbid, knock on wood, I don't know if this is real wood or not, but knock on it, or knock on this, if I fall. My phone, which is over 2,000 Singapore dollars, is damaged. At 300 Singapore dollars, I can swallow that. It might be a bit of a pinch, but I can swallow that. And so I don't feel so bad, you know what I mean? Now, it all depends on your usage. If you're into physical fitness, you're going to love this. 88 grams, it's super light, it's very svelte. You can pop it into your cycling jersey. And, if you have an armband, you can pop it there. You can be at the gym, put it in your pocket, and you can work out, and it's out of the way, and you're listening to music, Bluetooth, and it sounds beautiful, it's great, it works wonderful. If you want to use this to, let's say, watch movies or edit photos or all those things, it's not the greatest device for that. It's a little small, but also I found it to be not as fluid as using my iPhone. But man, when you listen to music, it's great. And look at it, it's tiny, and I miss this. I actually really miss this product. If you're out there like me and you go, look, I just want to put my phone away in a locker for an hour, hour and a half. I just want to listen to music and go out there, do it. This is going to be for you. Now, I will say if you have an Apple Watch as well, it might be a little bit redundant because of course the Apple Watch you can be, without your phone and you can use it for music and just connect to Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't have an Apple Watch, the iPod Touch might be the product that you want, especially if you want to take a break from your phone for a little bit. Because we all need to do that in our lives. And this product does that relatively well. But we got to talk about price. With all Apple products out there, sometimes they get it right, sometimes not so. The introductory price on this iPod Touch in Singapore is $299 for the 32 gigabyte version of it. The 128 gigabyte versions are on 400 plus, and then the 256 gigabyte version is around 600 and change. Okay, I'll tell you this right now to save you some money. Because we use subscription-based music services nowadays for Apple Music, for Spotify, for Tidal, and you can download offline the music, whatever you need when you want it. Don't spend the money on the 128 gigabyte version or the 256 gigabyte version. You don't need it, okay? Get the 32 gigabyte version, even though I don't know why Apple's putting 32 gigabytes on any product nowadays. It's 2019. Get that version because you can have more than enough music that you can download off Spotify or Tidal or Apple Music that will fill that 32 gigabytes, and that's good for that. If you want to put all your media on this device, yeah, you could buy the bigger version, but I would tell you to think twice about it. Maybe just get the iPhone XR because this is a music, podcast, YouTube device only, okay? If you want to edit photos on this and do all that, no, it's not that product for you. But I like it. I like it. Let's talk about battery life for a second because it's a small device. You're thinking, how's the battery life? It's not that good. It's not that good, to be honest with you. I'm getting a few hours out of this thing, and even the standby time is not fantastic. I was a little bit shocked. I would use it for a bit in the gym for about an hour, then I put it in my bag, and I would come back, let's say it was a couple days, I come back and the battery's really low or almost flat, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? Of course, it's connected to Wi-Fi, whatever the case is. Maybe it's pulling data out of there, and I maybe have to adjust my settings, but the battery life is not really good at all. I mean, obviously, there's got to be a very small battery in this thing, but Apple could have improved that. Also, there's no Touch ID on this. So how do you get quick access to the iPod Touch? A 6-digit passcode is your only way. So every time I turn on the iPod Touch to adjust my music, I turn it off, I turn it back on, I have to put in a 6-digit passcode every time. Now I can turn that off, of course, and then I would have no security, and then if I lose my iPod Touch, people have access to my accounts, which I don't want to happen. So I do wish Apple in 2019 would have put Touch ID on this. I mean, they could have put it right there, and then life would have been beautiful. Maybe they'll do that for the iPod Touch 2020 version, who knows, if they decide to make another one. But besides the battery life and missing the Touch ID, the iPod Touch is actually a really good device to have if you get the low-end version of it, okay? Save yourself some money, stream your music, use Wi-Fi, download what you need off Spotify, Apple Music, and Tidal. You'll be well rewarded. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the iPod Touch. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Thank you so much for your feedback, your support. Follow us on Facebook. Until the next one, take care.